Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the recap episode of my conversation with Vinney Chopra. Y'all, he is just like a little pile of joy. Like, it's like, you meet these people and it's like, how do I bundle all of that up, put it in my pocket so I can access it every single day? That's just the contagious joy that he emotes. And if you haven't listened to the full episode, I will not do it justice, so please do. But in an effort of giving you the Cliff Notes version of my conversation with Vinney, that's what you're here for. So let's do this. So, all right, here are my 3 key takeaways from my conversation with Vinney Chopra. So here's the first thing. I loved this, and it was such a great reminder. He said that teaching is just choice learning. That is so good. It's like, to be a good communicator means you need to be a great student, right? To be a coach, a consultant, a speaker, a podcaster, anyone who is conveying information to another human being, i.e. a teacher, an educator, an informer, or a communicator, there has to be a level of choice learning. And I thought that was so good. And that happens in a variety of different ways. And we live in a unique era, a time in history where information is at our fingertips. To the better or worse of what that brings about, but it's there. So choose to use it for your betterment. It's like you can be listening to podcasts, you can read books, you can listen to books. There's blogs, there's social media content posts, there's courses, there's webinars, there's coaching, consulting. There's just so much out there. And perhaps that's sometimes the challenge is with so many options, it's not easy to choose one. But to be a great educator, a teacher, right? You've got to be a great student. And I love that. It was such a great reminder to me of like, my job is to learn, right? As a human being, as a parent, as a business owner, like a huge part of my job is to be a great student, a great learner of information. So that was my first takeaway. The second is something that I'm just really fascinated with, which is real estate syndication, right? And so I loved this conversation I've been having with him off and on through text and through conversations ever since he and I reconnected just a couple of months ago. But this is somewhat of a newer concept to me of, right? It's pooling your money with another group of like-minded individuals to be able to invest in larger things. And this is something that he has done extraordinarily well over the last 7 years, almost $700 million with real estate assets. And so much of that is through syndication. And I love, it's like, I may not be able to buy a $25 million multifamily complex, but I could be a part investor in one. And I love just the whole concept of, right, if your money is sitting idle right now, sitting in a bank somewhere, it's literally losing its value due to the rate of inflation right now. And I am not a financial analyst or forecaster. I'm not an economist. But I think there's some certain things that we can all just consider as true, which is we are going to see the impacts of the choices that our government has made through the pandemic, not making a side either way. It's just choices always have consequences. Good choices, bad choices, they all have consequences. And we're going to feel the ramifications of that at some point in the next 10 to 20 years, if not sooner. And so it's like how you're investing your money, spending your money right now is going to make a huge difference. And so investing into real estate is something that I've really gotten a lot of passion about learning, right? This is a topic I'm learning a ton about right now. And syndication is just a really fascinating way. Vinney has courses, he's got books, he's got podcasts on this. We barely scratched the surface of this today, but it's pooling your money with another group of like-minded individuals who are all investing in the same thing, to get more people's money working together for you in a quicker fashion. So just fascinated about this concept. I think sometimes investing in those types of things can be intimidating, but this is a less intimidating way to go about it, at least through my lens. The third thing I love we talk about is the three tsunamis that are impacting the United States today. This is so good. Like, the whole conversation could have been around this. So here are the three tsunamis in a Cliff Notes version. The first tsunami is the Gen Z and millennial tsunami, right? And basically what that is the growing number of millennials and Gen Z who don't want to own properties, right? They are turning the country into a renter's nation, along with these other two tsunamis. And I think this is fascinating because it's like, I have so many friends. I am a millennial. I'm an older millennial, but I have so many friends who are in this Gen Z and millennial, generation who don't see the value in owning. They don't want to. They want to be able to rent and hippity hop all over the country or all over the world. I was talking to someone today. The last time I talked to him, he was in Amsterdam. Today he's in Tokyo. And I'm like, wait, what? And it's like, it's just this transient lifestyle, this laptop living, this virtual work environment where we can do things from pretty much anywhere. And we're seeing that grow and grow with the pandemic, and probably not going back to full-time in-office jobs for a lot of companies. And so you've got this first tsunami of Gen Z and millennials who don't want to own anymore. The second one is the Silver Tsunami, right? The growing number of people who are turning age 65. There are 10,000 people every day in the United States that are turning 65. That's huge. He said there's another 6,000 every single day that are turning 70. And then another 4,000 that are turning 80. Y'all, that's huge. This comes down to, what is the quality of living in life going to be like for our parents or grandparents in the next 10 to 20 years? With everyone living longer, there's going to be additional requirements for when this person can no longer sustain living in their home alone, maybe just due to the upkeep that's required. Some of it may be to illness or sickness or, some sort of injury or handicap, but a lot of it is just due to the upkeep of they don't want to anymore, or maybe they need to sell so that they can downsize. And there's this huge era of what are we going to do with the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who are living well into their 70s, 80s, 90s in terms of their living arrangements. And I love Vinney's passion around reimagining and redefining what senior housing, senior living looks like. And this is probably what I am most passionate about learning about. My dad is about to turn 71. He is nowhere near needing this sort of thing. But if he ever would, I want to put him in a place that is fun and awesome, and somewhere that he enjoys, and he doesn't consider it being in a senior living home. It's like, no, this is like spring break for someone in their 80s, right? And I think that's a huge thing. This is a huge tsunami that is impacting this trend towards a renter's nation here in the United States. And then the last is the immigrant tsunami, the amount of people who are moving to this country on a variety of different statuses. But they are moving here and they are not able or eligible to buy a home. So there is forced renting. Right now in the United States, there is a 20 million home housing shortage right now. That's extraordinary. And what does that look like in 5 years or 10 years? And the difference between renting and owning and multifamily and single home and all these different concepts that make up all the different ways that we can be investing in real estate as a way of making our money work for us. And this was just such a powerful interview. And the reason I wanted to have Vinney on the show was to talk about, like, when your business, when your personal brand is growing and succeeding and you're making money, because it will do that. Like, you're probably already doing that now. It's like, how are you then reinvesting that money so that it's working for you? And I wanted to have him on. He's got amazing podcasts and books and courses. He's got this amazing personal brand, but simultaneously, he also has this really powerful real estate investment side of him, of real estate syndication and senior living and multifamily unit housing and hotels and all these different things. And it just got my mind thinking of how are we investing our money? And there's a time and a place for Roth IRAs and 401ks. And then there's another time and a place of, yeah, and what else am I doing? And I just thought this would be a really great opportunity to talk about, as your business scales, how do you make sure that you are scaling up your investment strategies? And just a brilliant mind who is doing this exceptionally well, both in the personal brand space and in the investment space. So I have not even scratched the surface here. There is so much more to talk about. Check out this interview. Follow Vinney Chopra. You can go to VinneyChopra.com, VINNEY Chopra.com. If you go to VinneyChopra.com/free book, you get a free copy of his book, the e-version. But check him out, follow him. Y'all, just was so good. I hope you enjoyed it, and coming back next time on the Influential Personal Brand. See you later.